I'm Katrina, and this is So and Tare. Welcome to another garden tour. We're doing an end of summer garden tour. I'm out in the street here. This is the property here, and I want to let you know I'm on 7,000 square foot lot in town, and you can do what I'm doing. Everything you see here, you can do what I'm doing. All right, here we go. So first up here, I have our pineapple guavas, the fajoya, and you can see we are getting little fruits starting. This will be ready in like December, so they do take a while to go, and we have 2 of them, so that's good. I still have not cleaned up my irises, that's okay. And we have all sorts of stuff growing here. So I'll take you inside and show you everything. All right, here we go. So first up, we come to our tree collard. So these are tree collards. They volunteer in my yard year after year, and I like to have them grow. We're gonna try and have them grow up this trellis and over, and it's gonna be awesome. Here's a tree collard. Looks like after it's gone to seed. I was going to collect the seeds, but the birds collected them for me, so I can take this out now. All these little places the birds get. Mostly the finches and the bush tits were doing this. And the rest is green, guys. That is our native milkweed, narrow-leaf milkweed. You can see this is going to go to seed. Yes, there are aphids on there. Yes, they're yellow, and those are specific to this specific species, and the ladybugs will get those. So if you've been around the channel at any length of time, you know I love volunteers in my yard. Volunteers are wonderful, and we have volunteer trees. Yes, we do. So this is the tallest one of my volunteer apricots. So that's how tall it is. It's a volunteer apricot. I spit out the pit, and there you go. So this half looks pretty dry. It looks like I had some sort of animal come through. Wonder if the cat has been doing that. But this is all, it's late summer, so things are drying up. This is all yarrow. So there's the seed heads. Now they have self-seeded, and they volunteer really well. We have some sages. We have, there's a coast live oak. We need to pull that one out. But this is Russian sage, and it really, really brings in the bees. Another tree collard. The Russian sage is awesome. He's awesome. And over here, my oregano. Ooh, my hot and spicy oregano is going to seed. I like that. I'm gonna have to come back and get some seeds. The bees love this. I love it. It's awesome. And there's my sad little lemon balm. I don't water it, but the flavor is amazing. So I'm not really eating it right now. All right, we have the cherry trees in the front. We have the humongous plum and pluots over there. I was going to summer prune. I don't even know if I'm going to get to it, but that's fun. And all of this, when it's not tromped down, there's a few cat beds in here. Like, it looks like that's a cat bed and that's a cat bed. I guess the neighborhood cats have been hosting up here. I don't know, holing up here, but that is okay. They catch mice and stuff. The one that hangs out also catches birds, but I'm not too fond of that. Anyway, let me show you the rest of this over here. So this is all front yard stuff, and I mainly film in the back. So that is I mainly film in the back, mostly because I don't have distractions back there. There aren't people walking by and talking and stuff like that. But a lot does go on in the front yard. So these are kind of special because you can see the front yard. So I am going to be trimming back these significantly. This is one of the trees that I was going to get rid of and actually overgraft, and that didn't happen this year. It is so vigorous, but it got 2 fruits this year, so you know. Anyway, let's go in. So you see the remnants of borage down there, those will self-seed. And this is apple trees, Anna apple. And she's still confused. Look at this, she's still confused in having apples, having flowers. The rue has made it through many winters. That is this plant right in here. And more sage. So, there's lots of stuff in the front. It's a little grown now. At the end of summer, you get things growing wild, which is fine. If you have a multi-graft, like this one, and it has apricot, it will become an apricot. So, make sure that you know that before you choose them. And I personally would not ever graft an apricot onto something other than an apricot. So, yeah. Trying to walk backwards, I can't see what I'm doing. All right, so I'm turning around just so I don't get the neighbors. And in here we have 2 green stalks. The basil is doing okay, and it's getting pretty bunched up, which is all right. I need to harvest it again. Got Thai basil as well. And what's fun about over here is we have a few different things going on. Look at this. I just touched that basil, it smells so good. This is wolfberry. Look at that. Ooh, that one might be ready. Wolfberry is related to goji berry. I should say goji berry is related to wolfberry. So this is a super sweet berry, and it's very good. Native to Baja California. There you go. There's all sorts of other stuff in here, and I'm not even gonna be able to point out anything. It's such a jungle. These are gooseberries, spent gooseberries, not gooseberries, Cape gooseberries, which is otherwise known as ground cherries. Somewhere in there, ooh, right there, is my bouillon bush. It's doing really well. It's actually this right here. This bouillon bush, and there's 3 pawpaws in there somewhere. And my Frederick's passion fruit is coming back from the roots. My passion fruit didn't have a good year this year. Don't know why. Last year and the year before it did. The water did get shut off in the middle of the summer, but it's okay. And here's the Anna apple on the other side of this big trellis. It's doing great. I'm going to be planting some chard in this, chard and spinach, I think, for the winter. And I'm going to probably plant chard in the bottom or something else and bring this inside the porch. So an advantage of having green stalks is that they're on wheels, and you can move them inside to the porch. I have some in the back that are peppers, and I brought those in last year. And the ones that were not really close, like there was a whole side that died because they was close to things. But there's a whole host of plants that you can grow in these containers, and they are completely fine growing in containers, and you can bring them inside in the winter and they will overwinter. So I got overwintered peppers last year. So this is my second time filming with the GoPro. I'm not quite sure how it's going. I can't see the screen on the front for some reason, so we're just going with it. Here is a fun plant. This is a tomato. This is its, I think, 3rd year. It's flowered, but it has never given me fruit. So it volunteered there, and I'm just gonna let it live. It's fine. This is a wonderful, wonderful plant. This is Chinese chive. It is a like a garlic. You eat the leaves, and it is garlicky. And I am trying to get this to self-sow, and well, it will self-sow. I'm trying to get this to naturalize in my yard. Whenever I have a plant that I think can naturalize in the yard, I encourage it to, because if it wants to grow and grow on its own and not need water and not need all this care, I'm up for that. Yeah. So going along here, guys, I did absolutely nothing with the side yard this year. I didn't plant anything. There's some beets from last year. It looks like they're growing. These are Jerusalem artichokes from several years ago. I got one in flower. Some radishes I planted in the fall, going to seed. This is an old, interesting, it's coming up this year. This place had fruitless pomegranates. There's one here and one underneath Parmesan. And I don't understand fruitless pomegranates. The flowers are pretty, but they don't smell good. I mean, they don't smell at all. I don't understand it. I don't know, but it's interesting. I have a couple of these show up, so maybe there were root fragments that just decided to come up this year. So, but behind that is a fun plant. This is called pigeon pea. And these seeds are totally edible. And the plant is a nitrogen fixer, so you can use it for chop and drop. But there's two of the seeds. So I'm just going to plant those. And it is a perennial. That's pretty cool. Alright guys, here's the garden gate. This little flower used to be my grandma's, and when she passed, I took that and put it on my garden gate. Here we go. So first off, when people come in here, they're like, wow, that's a lot. That's a lot. Yeah, it is. It definitely is. So, let's go see what's happening here. So this one is comfrey, and I do need to do something with it. I haven't done anything with it all year except for feed a couple leaves to the animals. But, guys, this is the oasis you can have in your backyard. It is amazing and productive, and I need to harvest. And we'll take you in. So first off, I'm going to show you these squashes here are things that I planted, I think 2 years ago. So 2 years ago I planted the Three Sisters garden in this bed. Three Sisters garden is squash, beans, and corn. Well, 2 of the sisters came up, and the squash decided it wasn't ready until this year. So I don't know what's up with that. It's okay. I let things go in this bed. This year I planted cucumbers. I didn't get any cucumbers coming up. I bet in 2 years this bed will have cucumbers. So we have these, keep on going. We have some that have ripened. This is still ripening. Looks like that one might be right back there. And this one looks like it might be a different variety. So yes, there is powdery mildew. I was gone for 2.5 weeks and didn't really deal with the garden at all this week. Oh, there's another fruit. So, my method of dealing with powdery mildew is to cut off the leaves and give it to the animals to eat. They eat fine, it's good, and then nice uninfected leaves will then grow up, and that's my method. And really at the end of the season, we start getting more fog, we start getting more moisture, then that pretty much, you know, at some point it's going to succumb to that. So there we go. But I did get this to go over, and then this was going across the path, but it got moved over instead of going up and over. I want to go up and over. Hi babies. All right. So moving through here, unfortunately our volunteer tomatillo, you guys remember that? There it is. Because it didn't get moisture throughout the year, it was not a successful volunteer. That happens sometimes. Not everything that starts lives, and the volunteers that I want to keep are the ones that are strong enough to live through and are more adapted. I'll be doing a volunteer plant video soon. So I want to talk to you guys about this massive thing. This massive thing is like 2 plants of a hybrid, a volunteer, again, volunteer, that volunteered in the right spot where it gets watered. Volunteer squash. It was a cross between a Black Beauty zucchini and a yellow crookneck squash. So look at this. So this is all the way over here. I do have a pathway to get into the room there. The bed ends like over here, guys. And all of this is in the pathway. But look at this. We have so much pollination going on. So much pollination. And I have not picked since before I left for QuailCon. And look at all that. You can still eat them at that size, but I do need to harvest. How ridiculous is that? That's what I want to know. That's awesome. That you can see, so you can see that's starting to get affected by the powdery mildew. These are more affected over here, and that's okay. It's going to happen. Oh, that right there is lemon verbena. Yum yum. All right, so going over here, we have some our volunteer grape is doing great. So that planted itself, and it grew. This year, last year, maybe the year before, it showed up, and it grew tremendously since that time this year. Like, it was just about a foot tall for, I think it was for a year, it was like a foot tall, and then it grew tremendously. So here is that by the dragon fruit going up. And look at this, guys. Look at this. Look how big it is. It's now going up into the peach tree, which I need to trim. Yeah, and it's pretty cool. Over here, I have not picked beans since QuailCon, so we probably have some seeds over there. There is a pathway between these. I'm gonna have to fight it, you know. And if you were at the Heirloom Expo, this is one of the large beets that I had that I told you guys a story about, and it's huge. And these other leaves right here, this is that hybrid squash. So, I mean, it's fighting through everything, getting up there, and we even have flowers that tall. We also have, it looks like, I don't know if you guys can tell, that is sweet potato, so it's climbing up too. And sweet potatoes down here. So the bed the squash showed up in is a sweet potato bed. That's what it has always been. I planted peppers in the sweet potato bed one year, and it's nice because the peppers come up, and then by the time it gets hot, the sweet potatoes are covering their feet. So that was a good partnership because sweet potatoes tend to be pretty low, and it afforded the peppers some extra coolness on their feet. So that is good. Oh yeah, look at this aloe. Aloes are crushing it. Some babies there. This is also where I have my saffron. So I will be finishing my saffron video finally soon, and then that will go out to you guys. I encourage you to get saffron. Now is the time to get it. For me, it blooms in like right around Halloween time, and it's a 2 to 3 week window. So there's your plug for getting saffron right now. All right, so going through, have my nice little archway here, and in here you can see that is a volunteer willow. A volunteer willow, you say? I do. That must have been a wood chip that I brought into the yard because it was in place that watered, and then boop, up it came. I now have willow, which is awesome because my rabbits love willow. So there's my pathway though to get to the beans. And it looks like the beans have even gone into the willow, which is kind of funny. And again, powdery mildew on this, that's fine. This was actually yellow crookneck squash that I planted this year. That's what those ones look like. So yeah, this is going to be too hard to eat. But hey, we grew seeds. We're okay with growing seeds. It's the only green bean I grew, so it's going to be this green bean next year. So I will probably let that dry out. We might be at the end of green bean season. But you guys, is exciting. Check this out. Look at this, tomatillos. Okay, look, we have fruits starting. Yeah, I didn't think I was gonna get fruits this year because the ones I planted did really, really poorly, and then there's one random one over there and one random one over here that popped up, and they haven't had fruit yet. But look, and I think, look at all of those. I think those are the yellow ones that I planted. So that's cool. And I do need to harvest. I have tons of silver slicer cucumbers in there. So silver slicer is a really good cucumber. This is my first year successfully growing it, and I did get it from a start. But this is a variety that is, it's not bitter. It's nice. It has a nice, refreshing, cool flavor, and so that's really nice. Yeah, so apparently the squash, the powdery mildew is starting to affect that as well. And if you look at this, I'll go back here. You guys see the pathway? It's gone. A few months ago, we trimmed that like down to nothing, and now my pathway is gone. So, yeah, it's gone. But over here we have tomatoes. So these are all the heat tolerant tomatoes I grew. And so if you remember, there's I think 5 or 6 varieties. I've eaten 3 of them that I know of, and they're all very good. They are the typical tomato. They're not the super flavorful tomato that heirlooms offer. But these are most, I think they're all hybrids, but they are doing well. I didn't have a super hot year to test if it's a super hot, plant, but it's okay. And it's doing really well. It's kind of outgrowing its trellis, which is okay. And look at these hot lip sage. So this is why it's called hot lips. Isn't that fun? And look at these green stalks. These green stalks are kicking it. Started these last year. Strawberries spent the winter outside. We don't have winter here. We have mild winter. And the peppers came inside to the screen and porch. I did not rotate them. I should have. And all the ones on the window side died because they got too cold. And all the ones interior stayed alive. So that tells me I just need to bring them further into the porch and they'll be fine. So there we go. A lot of these are ones that that I kept over winter. Look at these guys. Look at these. And then these ones, well, this was supposed to be a jalapeno, but it's not. But I planted all jalapeno. I thought I did. These are not jalapenos. And their peppers just, okay. Oh, this was the side that basically died. But there's all sorts of stuff in here. This is a, ooh, ladybug. This is a parsley from last year. So it's, parsley are parsley are biannuals, meaning they grow one year and they flower and seed the next. And so this will give good seeds for parsley for later on. And yeah, things are very healthy in there. They need a little bit greening up, but it's okay. They're doing good. And then for this, look at this. Look at that. Oh, that's not ripe yet. This one's ripe. So the thing I love about having strawberries, having my own strawberries, is you can choose exactly when they're ripe. When they're picked in the store, they might be ripe, that afternoon. But you get to pick them perfect. And they're wonderful. They're wonderful homegrown. So good. You've seen some green stalks on here. I recommend getting them. This is 36 plants in a space you can hug. You can hug it. And it's 36 plants. They spin. If you get the spinner base, I highly suggest that. They spin, and you can do, you know, spin each day and have a wonderful time. So, yeah. Let me show you guys. Here's the view from the green stalks to the pond. We have one of our quail wheels there. Don't have anything in it. It's just set to the side. But look at this, no pathway to the pond. I have videos on all these things I'm showing you, so if you're new to the channel, you want to know about the pond, I have some videos on pond, you want to know about other things, there we go. So, this right here, this beet, you see how it's folded over there, it's folded over here. This beet was higher than I could reach. If you guys that are familiar with the channel or who were at the Heirloom Expo and I told stories to, this is the beet that I was talking about. This is very adaptable. And here's our volunteer tomatillo. Oh look, oh maybe they are growing fruit. Little tiny fruits are in there. They're just late to the party, I guess. So here's all the tomatoes here. It's in a horseshoe shape, and I do need to harvest tomatoes today. Yeah, it's doing super well. Super duper well. And I think this is a volunteer, pretty sure this is a volunteer walnut, which I do not want. It's very healthy. I might wait until winter and try and give it to someone. So plants that have leaves that fall in the winter, they are called deciduous, and when you're moving plants that are deciduous, the best time to do it is in winter when they don't have any leaves. So, there you go. And we will take you through this route. This is around the pond. I still have a ladder up. And this is our wonderful nectar peach. It's a white peach, and we did cut it back severely after it fruited. I was going to do that with these peaches, but that didn't happen. So this is a bonita peach, and actually this one right here is a volunteer. But that one's the bonita, and the one next to it is a desert gold. And desert gold is early, super good, yummy, yummy. And hi girls. Hi. My chickens are molting. Alright, so we also have this, that was a nectarine that I tried to graft and failed at. Japanese paper plant, and then this is a lilac. So coming this way around the pond, we have our peaches, and then next is the avocado. And so this is definitely getting shaded out by the peaches. The peach had branches that broke this year. I'm just not dealing with this until I get a chance to cut those branches, which I don't know what it's going to be because I have lots of things to do, and that's the least of my concerns right now. But it's not helping this avocado. And then over here we have the paged mandarin, which is a really good one. And you can see new fruits coming on, but it looks like there's an old fruit on there. It might be okay to eat. But it is also getting shaded out by this humongous branch. And now we are back to this bed here with little vines of pumpkin and some spinach. These are Malabar spinach, it looks like. Yeah. And so here's my Parmesan's hutch. We have one's a Moore Park, one's a Blenheim. There's an apricot there, an apricot here, and then two pears. We have actually, which one is this? This is I have Commies and Warren, and this is a Commies. So this one's Commies pear, and this is golden berry or golden tears, which is not edible, but I keep it for the goldfinches. So if you look, like, see that branch? It's all dead. Those little twigs is what the goldfinches like, so I let it die back in winter, and the goldfinches come by and get them for the nesting material. And you can see just how bare some of these branches are. in here. Like they love it for the nesting material. And then the Warren pear is right there, and then another lilac. So I've shown you guys quite a bit there with the garden. The animals you guys kind of see throughout the year. I might do an animal thing later, but yeah, it's pretty cool. We'll take you this way, and more stuff. Something got all the spearmint, which I am completely okay with. So the spearmint I planted in the ground next to a bed. Don't do that, guys. If you want spearmint or any mint, plant it in a pot off the ground. Because if you plant it any other way, this is what you're gonna get. That's my strawberry bed, guys. That's why I have the green stalk for the strawberry, because yeah, don't do what I did. And we have French sorrel here. I did freeze dry some of this year. I'm gonna do more. I just haven't done it yet. Again, that should be good. And these, you guys know what this is? This is echinacea, purple coneflower. It's on its way out. Usually it has more vibrant flowers, but it's on its way out. It's gonna make us some seed. Here's one. It has some pollen. And guys, do you see this? All those branches, those are all figs. Those are all... Ooh, is that a mulberry? I thought I had a mulberry in here. No, it's a fig. It just has a funny leaf. So those are all figs. You can start figs with a stick. Okay, these were all from a Scion exchange several years ago. I ran out of time. I was going on a couple-week vacation. I didn't want them to dry out, and so I literally just shoved them in a bed that was being watered. It was going to be a temporary solution, and that was several years ago. However, look at this, guys. They love it here. They love it here. They do. It's awesome. But what I'm not loving about it is my pathway. I have to say this, my temporary roof for my temporary winter roof for the aviary, we still have on. It's a tarp. It's coming apart. It doesn't really matter right now. I usually take it off because it doesn't matter, and I know it's going to deteriorate. I just haven't taken it off. And then once it starts to get rainy again, we'll put another one on. They are on the shady side, so they get shade year-round. But next to this is marjoram. This is what marjoram looks like when it's going to seed, or going to flower, and then this is what it looks like when it's about to seed. And look, we do have some volunteer celery in there, and I know there's more in there. It's pretty awesome. All right, I'm going to the sad part of the yard. I have not repaired the water for the citrus yet, and that's all on me. I just didn't do it. So, the berries did not get as much water as they should have this year. They're still alive. They're still doing good. I mean, geez, they're doing, look at this. Look how high that one is. That one's doing okay. But the citrus has not been watered very much. So, that's on me. That's bad gardening. Don't do that. I love automatic water, but when it breaks, I need to fix it right away, and that hasn't happened. But I have. Unfortunately, my camera overheated and I didn't realize it, so you missed the last part of this. So here we go with a little bit. These are the citrus. Again, water got turned off, and we have lots of different citrus here. We have a Mignolo Tangelo, Owari Satsuma, Clementine, Tangerine, Valencia, but it's going from the root because I didn't like what it was there, so I decided, let's see what the root has. And then this is Caracara and Travoya, and this is Little Bear's Lime coming up from the root, so I have no idea actually what the rootstock was on that. It has never given me fruit, and it's been dead for 2 years, so I guess the root was waiting to be awoken. Oh, look, there's a little beet. And this is a Meyer lemon and another Meyer lemon. This is the one This is the one that was in, this is the one that was here when I came here. So coming around, we have some ripe ones. This is a quince, and that never gives me fruit that's edible because the squirrels always get it. And we have some figs over there. I'm gonna grab some because they look ripe. And tiger panache. Now here's the sad part about the tiger panache fig. There was a super ripe one, and I thought I filmed it, and I didn't. But they are striped green and yellow, and that stripiness and color is the same when it's ripe, so the birds don't know that it's actually ripe. It's nice. And then we have a brown turkey fig back there, as well as a gala apple. Ooh. Here's the gala apple. And it looks like that one's not quite ripe. This one's the Texas Everbearing. Oy. That one looks ripe. Not ripe all the way, but we'll eat it anyway. Alright guys, fig yumminess. Let's see what it looks like inside. Yeah, not quite ripe all the way, but still pretty good. Still pretty good. The one I had yesterday, or Sunday, was fabulous. So we have a couple more in here that will be ripe soon, and then there's a whole bunch that will be ripe probably in a week or two. Start ripening up. So then this right here is a one plant. It's all one sage plant. And there's a bunch of spider webs up back here. Not sure why that is this year. There's a bunch of spider webs. And this is golden currant. This little one right here. This mass of things is called winter savory. And look at the asparagus. It is starting to fruit. Not edible, but it is good. And it looks like we have a little chrysalis for a little ladybug there. That's cool. It was at this point, yeah, on Saturday, whatever day it was that I was filming. It was at this point that I realized we had baby quail. Well guys, that was exciting. Okay, we have 8 babies alive, 1 that was dead, and maybe more to come, I don't know. But I'm gonna get them some food and water, and and then we'll get going. Anyway, this was supposed to be a garden tour, and pretty much showed you guys everything. I hope you enjoyed it, and again, what I do here, you can do. I'm on 7,000 square foot lot. I have all of these trees and all of these plants and all this garden space and a pond and animals, and you can do it too. So I encourage you to get started growing if you're not already growing, and if you are, grow more. Thank you for watching. Please hit the like, spread this around so everybody can see what's going on such a small property, and if you haven't subscribed, subscribe. Thank you for watching, and enjoy the day.